So, I was going to make a different video, but I haven't quite finished getting my thoughts together for what exactly I want to say. So, instead, I'm just going to give you the raw, unfiltered thoughts that I was having and wrote down less than an hour ago. So yeah, here's that. Getting high is a permission slip. It's a permission slip to be present. Being present is scary, terrifying. I don't know when it became so terrifying. How long has it been like this? Not always. No. I can remember staying up in the night with just my presence, just being in the darkness. But now I guess I'm afraid of the dark. Maybe I feel like I was there just a little too long. Maybe I'm afraid to be present because I'm so used to being present in my pain. I spent so many years in pain. I felt like it was my whole life, and I was so comfortable in my misery. The problem is that I still don't seem to trust myself. I don't trust that I could be present and feel anything but pain. And it's like I'm trying to refuse to admit to myself that I actually believe that there isn't anything good to be found underneath the sadness. Judgment lives inside of me, and I want it out. Fear lives inside me, and I want that bitch dead. It's like, can I just enjoy something without having to think of what everyone else will think? Because here I go again, thinking, well, if I put this out to other people, here's the assumptions they'll start making, so let me go back and clarify everything. Let me clarify, I'm not out here getting high all the time. It's just what I was thinking in the moment, wishing that I had something real right now. And I'm talking about cannabis, to be clear, to get me high right now. Because I wanted permission to let go. It's wild that I can't even say how long ago it was now. My concept of time has never been the best. But whenever this was a year or more ago, my environment was overall unsafe. Mostly mentally and emotionally unsafe, but also physically, because I did actually get assaulted. So, and it's around this time, and I could feel it in my heart space now. My screen time skyrocketed. I could not be present in my body. I would not have been able to continue on if I was. I also think acting on my emotions could have proved to be very dangerous at the time. I had a lot to be angry about. And I'm realizing I haven't given myself enough grace. Because it's like, my mind keeps trying to skip over this very recent past of mine. I keep thinking about where I should be without having had that experience. And so now I'm like, dude, you can't just act like this didn't happen. I keep thinking about the things in my more distant past that's making me feel like, okay, you've healed from that, and now you should be really pushing forward in life, moving on your passions. And it's like, but dude, don't feel like you should be 100% fine when you actually just went through a lot. Just because the people around you don't take it into consideration doesn't mean it had no impact on you. It's okay that you've been taking your time. And I know that I've been afraid to sit in my darkness for too long because I used to be so in love with being depressed. It's not about feeling it, it's the fear of being too comfortable with it. It's the fear of giving up on my happiness. In high school, I used to talk a lot about how the lows always hit harder after periods of happiness and putting in the effort to be happy. To not let the negativity overtake me. I didn't really want to keep being in pain. I wish so badly to be happy, but I knew that the sadness was very comforting. And so here I am, present day, thinking I can't go back there. It's an issue of self-trust. I'm not trusting myself to be able to handle being fully present on the regular. But I know that I'm not the same as I once was. My mindset has entirely shifted. I feel like I've lived a million lifetimes in just a few years. I'm not who I was 10 years ago or who I was 5 years ago, but I remember who I was then. And that's what's causing my hesitation. Present day me is equipped to handle this all in an entirely different way, but I've been acting like fear is my best friend. And I don't want to be besties anymore. I can feel the full weight of it all and not let it consume me. Because you see, I now know that I don't have to hold on because emotions are meant to flow freely through me. I know now that I have always had the option of transforming the pain and the sadness into something else, something more beautiful. And I always did this, but now I'm conscious of it and I can extend it further. When I was younger, I was saving my life in ways I didn't even realize. I was listening to music and experiencing it with my entire soul. I was getting lost in another world when I played the violin. I was playing soccer, another physical release, another tool of alchemy. Those are the things that kept me from entirely losing it then. I had some other coping mechanisms then that were not all that good for me. But back to present day me, I can see all this now. Not that I didn't know some of the things I was doing were harmful to me, but now I can see just how powerful the creative outlets are, how good certain things I was doing unconsciously are. Journaling is another thing I did a lot when I was young and very depressed. That was beautiful transmutation out of my head and onto paper. That's powerful energy work, actually. Now I know what practices are beneficial, and I know I can create more consciously. I know that I have the power to create my own reality, and I know the power of negative thinking. So I now also know the power of putting my thoughts in check. I know now how to stop myself from continuing down a negative thought loop. So now I'm telling myself that it is safe to feel again, because I know that feeling the pain doesn't mean that I have to hold on to it.